Greetings, everybody. How are you? It is the 20th of April in 2022. I just got off the Zoom interview world with YouTube star Michael Palmisano, whose YouTube channel is GuitarGate. And we had an amazing conversation about what it takes to build a YouTube channel and what it takes to build an audience. And essentially what he's done is he's transformed his entire life by building a YouTube fan base. I guess fan base is probably not what he or I would really prefer to call it, because that's not really what it is. But the takeaway from it is, there's several takeaways. One, he said that, and he's not the first to say this, this is a learned bit of wisdom that he learned firsthand, that overnight success takes about 7 years, maybe 10 years. And Malcolm Gladwell even talks about that, I believe, in his book Tipping Point, which Michael talks about. So overnight success really is an illusion, and the truth is that it takes a lot of work and dedication to be successful in anything. And that's what we spoke about. We talked about his audience and being authentic and being true to self, while also giving the people who subscribe to your channel and see the advertisements pop up not only your authenticity, but the things that they are hoping to find from you. And he's a guitar teacher, and he does these really, really cool and inspiring videos called Guitar Teacher Reacts. And he reacts to live concerts by any band that you could imagine. And some of those videos get taken down because they get copyright strikes against them. So that's a whole nother story there. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you a little bit about Michael Palmisano. And I also just wanted to jump in ever so briefly and talk a little bit about some of the videos that I've posted. And one most recently was a video that features an interview with a friend of mine, Mark Sinnott, who's a New York Times best-selling author. I don't know why I say that every time. He's just my friend, and I get why he's a New York Times best-selling author. I guess it harkens back to overnight success takes years and years of work. I think his first his National Geographic, his first assignment with them, it took him a decade just to get them to acknowledge that he had the chops to actually write for them. Even though he had been on many trips sponsored by National Geographic as a climber and a big wall climber, he had to continually prove his muster and his chops to actually get the first gig. And now I think he's 10 or a dozen assignments in. The April 2022 National Geographic is a cover article that he wrote called Islands in the Sky, and it's really a feature about a guy named Bruce Means. He's a biologist who discovered several new species on this adventure they took down to Guyana to climb a tepui down there that has a unique frog. It's actually called the pebble toad. It's a frog. And they went down there and did a bunch of research, and it's now a documentary on Disney Plus. It's a National Geographic documentary. So I guess the reason I'm talking about him and then Michael Palmisano is all the hard work that it takes to be proficient at something and then to go and actually create an audience or to make a living out of it is another thing entirely. And nowhere am I more confronted with the reality of how hard work is the only way to get anywhere. Are those things over my shoulder, those guitars. They're not just props. I have them out. I play them anywhere from 1 to 4 hours a day. 1 would be the absolute minimum that I put in to practice every day, and usually it's the first thing I do when I wake up. So if I wake up at, say, 5:15, by 5:30 I've got probably the green Fender Stratocaster strapped around my shoulder, and I'm in the kitchen making coffee with it and everything. And the reason I use that one is because I don't really care if that thing bumps against a counter and gets a nick or ding on it. The Gibson Les Paul here, I'm very, very careful with. Just it's a beautiful instrument that I don't let bump in anything. The other that you see there, that's my Fender Telecaster that's got a bunch of nicks and chings in it, but I don't wear that around the kitchen or the house. I take really good care of it. It's a 1985 with a custom-made maple neck. So take a tangent here, but the idea is that a year and a half, 2 years ago, I came up with this desire and an intent. It arose from this desire actually on Mount Everest in 2019 when I had a day where my fingers were immensely cold, and I thought, gosh, can you imagine if I ever lost use of my fingers on either hand or both hands? I would never ever get to become proficient at playing the guitar. And I made a mental note in my tent at base camp on one night that when I got home, I was going to start the process of becoming proficient at playing the guitar. And so I know it's been 3 years since that trip, but really in earnest, it's been 2 years that I said the minimum practice I'm going to put in for a guitar will be 1 hour a day. And now there are some weekend days where I might have that guitar, I might be playing it for 6 hours, or if I practice with someone, but 1, maybe 2 hours. 2 is probably average, which still isn't that much. Tom Morello talks about when he was in college at Harvard, he was practicing 8 hours a day. And I that's what I should do, because I know now that that's really what it takes. Man, 2 years ago, I could strum a few songs. I could sing and everything, but I could strum songs and learn songs. But to really understand the fretboard and know what's going on in there, it's been 2 years of dedicated work, and I've probably missed 2 or 3 days entirely. That's it. I mean, I'm every single day, usually by 7 o'clock, I'm already got 1 hour down. And then anything I get after I'm done with work is all icing on the cake. Maybe another hour, sometimes 2 hours. I used to clock it and write it down. Oh, I worked 2 hours this day or 3 hours that day. I don't take notes on that anymore. But it shows. It shows. And one of these days I'll be able to show you that. But anyway, Michael Palmisano reminded me of that, about hard work. And he is a hard-working man and makes a living on YouTube, among other revenue streams, with his beautiful wife and 4 children. Last thing I wanted to talk about is, so I posted this interview with Mark Sinnott. And, we talk about Mount Everest and the mystery surrounding the fate of Sandy Irvin and George Mallory, who disappeared in 1924 on June 8th, now 98 years ago. The 100th anniversary is coming up. Somehow, some way, as you know from my Norton Couloir video that I did a month or so ago, there's still divisiveness in the community. And it really befuddles the mind to understand how some people could take exception to people following their nose or their gut one direction or the other in trying to solve the mystery. And I have an appreciation to anybody who devotes time and interest in better understanding the things that interest them. But the one thing that I don't really tolerate, and these people are welcome to do whatever they want, I don't have a tolerance for in my life people who choose to spend time and energy trash talking or trolling others who do things that might not be to their liking or their own best interests. And so I don't have to do it that often. I've got 15 or I don't even know, 1,200 or 1,400 followers on my YouTube page. A trifle compared to the 365,000 that Michael Palmisano has. But When a troll comes along and speaks negativity, gone. It's over. Blocked for good. I'm not even going to waste time or energy investing in the negativity that was just gifted to me. So if somebody has a gift of negativity and presents it to me, here is my gift for you. It's filled with negativity. I say, thank you very much. I choose not to accept your gift of negativity. I'm not even going to take the bow off of it. Thank you for your thought. Return it, and then promptly block that person out. That person is welcome to do whatever he or she chooses on their YouTube channel. But even this interview with Mark Sinnott, gosh, they came out of the woodwork. Gotta love it. And so far, no blocks on that video, but I did remove one comment. And with my respect to you, kind sir, there's no room for it on my page. So all that said, be authentic. I think that was the theme of my interview with Michael Palmisano. Be authentic. Be who you are. Don't try to do things to please others. And when you be authentic and bring yourself to the world that way, the people who surround you, your friends, will value you and cherish you for who you really are. So a mask or a false pretense is going to make for a really difficult life. That's all I got to say. I wish you all a wonderful day and a beautiful spring, and I hope that you will feel free to comment or to click like or to share or to subscribe, please, and let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your thoughts, the positive ones. Negative for negative's sake, thank you. I don't accept the gift, but I will listen if it's constructive criticism, and that's where we draw the line. So thanks again, guys. Have an awesome day. I'll check in real soon.